Thank you so much for joining me on our usual Saturday Facebook Lives. And tonight we're going to continue our conversation how to make felt making process less physical and more enjoyable. Last week we talked about materials, layout, materials, how to refresh materials, how to make sure our materials help us to create layout, even good quality layout, but without much effort. And we finish our conversation on the point when I shared my tip from my experience. Leave your layout. If you finish your layout, even if you did not finish your layout, you still can wet, add soap, and leave overnight. Preferably finish your layout. Wet, add olive oil soap, leave overnight, and next morning it's magic happening because wool scales open up so well. Adding friction, they join faster. I use this all the time. If I very impatient, I leave my layout at least for 1 hour, and then I come back and continue felting. And tonight let's talk more about felting and fulling. Felting and fulling methods which don't put strain on our body, because let's face it, felt making is quite a physical process. We don't want to develop injuries, and we just need to be gentle with our body and enjoy this process. Okay, so let's start with tools. I'll share with you tools which really help me with felt making. First of all, you don't need to invest a lot in tools. We know that friction helps to felt. Okay, so hi Norman. I guess you are doing big show now. Hi Maureen, I'm just looking who joined here. Hi Anne. Right, okay, brilliant. So in terms of tools, make sure my microphone, I'm just putting microphone and getting tools. Adding friction, I mentioned. You can use, when you rub your layout, use your usual tools. You don't have to go and buy expensive tools. Our first felt making tool, which is far from felt making tool, is ta-da! Yes, it's Masera, and it's I think I paid £12 from Amazon, and I still use, and it's great. Look, all these little rollers, which is fantastic. What else you can do to add friction when you roll? When we roll, we put something inside like roller or pipe. If it's a small project, and if you don't have roller like this, get your kitchen roller, pastry roller, attach bamboo, and you have another felt making tool. And then you can just go through with this tool through your layout. Okay, what else helps me to speed up felting process? I use plastic gloves. Where are my plastic gloves? Just a second. I use and reuse this type of plastic gloves, or you can use latex gloves. Why it's so useful? Because when you rub your layout, your hands don't slide nicely. When wearing plastic gloves, they do. Plus, this is very useful when you have so much embellishment and you don't want to drag your embellishment through, wool drag through embellishment. when wool start to eat embellishment. What other tools are great? Well, if you've been watching my online classes, I just love this tool. You recognize? Great to add water, great to add soap, and when you deal with 3D seamless felt, yeah, where you walk around a resist, this is great to make sure edges around resist really touching edges of wool layout, really touching well that resist. Okay, I, I just love this. This is my favorite tool at the moment. I wonder if you have favorite tools. Share in the chat. Not directly felt making tools. So what else? I like to use, let me to get draw liner, and if I can't, this is draw liner. Can you see it has little bubbles? And if I make small projects, I try to avoid using bubble wraps. I usually do use this draw liner. I roll my project inside of draw liner. You also can do rolling, if you do rolling, inside of bamboo mat, adding more friction. Well, if you don't like rolling, you know my answer. Use sander. And I have a blog on my website linaarchibald.co.uk about sander, including videos. I have these videos on YouTube. Check that videos, check that blog, how I use sander. We started to talk about rolling, and quite often we cannot avoid rolling. However, there are different ways to roll, so many different ways. First of all, I mentioned last week, make sure your table raised, or if you don't have to roll standing up, you can roll sitting down. Roll with your arms rather than hands. This way you put less strain on your hands. If you're standing up and rolling, put one foot in front of another and start to rock from one foot to another. Okay, it's like a rolling dance. Try that way. And if you rock from one foot to another, you will not put as much strain on your body. I learned this trick from Natalia Barshavetsky when she saw me roll in felt around 6 years ago. Yeah, we're friends. She cares about me. So she told me this trick, which I share with you. That's about rolling. When we're doing fooling, before going into fooling, you don't have to felt everything in one go. I don't. I get tired very quickly, and I am slow felt maker. I take time. I take time doing layout. I want to enjoy that process. I take time doing felting and fooling. So when you're doing felting, take breaks, and you can even leave your felt to finish another day. You can roll and leave till tomorrow. Come back next day, if necessary, add water and continue walking. What else I noticed that olive oil soap is much better for felting. It helps to felt quicker. There is some chemistry between wool and olive oil soap. I only felt with olive oil soap these days. I don't use washing up liquid like I used before, and I just for a few reasons, like I said, felting very much quicker. And then if you're making wearable, think about all these chemicals in washing up liquid. Plus, it's more difficult to wash washing up liquid. If you're using washing up liquid, well, if you like, continue. And don't forget to rinse well, adding vinegar. Talking about vinegar, there are some points. When you do felting, you use lots of soap and water, but it comes to the point when you felt just whatever you do, whatever, doesn't matter how many rolls you do, it just does not click. I like to use that terminology, clicking point. Like felt has clicking point when it's click and start to felt and full fast. And if it does not click, it means too much soap. So wash soap. If you're using olive oil soap, you just rinse in cold water. Quite often you rinse completely, and often I need to add a little bit more. If you're using washing up liquid, add little bit of vinegar when you're rinsing. Even if you did not finish felting, add little bit of vinegar to neutralize that soap. You will see how quicker felting will start to happen. I think this is important, which is I notice many people overlook this point. Make sure you don't have too much soap at the end of felting process. When talking about fulling process, again, use combination of different fulling techniques. It's not just bashing, it's my terminology, and I use quite often, I catch myself even using this in online classes. It's when you throw felt. That's not just a technique of fulling. I do combination of different fulling techniques. It's kneading, rubbing, using I mentioned before, draw liner, and yes, bashing. However, what else helps to full quicker? Warming up felt. Make sure that felt is ready. What I mean ready, that all fiber stuck together. You cannot pull any fiber, because if you add heat on the stage when your felt is not stable, when you can pull fiber, add heat, add fulling, and fiber will separate from your work. So when you're adding fulling, when you adding heat during fulling, make sure your work is ready for this. All fiber got together. So during fulling, I do fulling in stages, usually 3 stages, and it depends what type of felt I do, but usually it's combination, either rubbing and then throwing felt, or it could be kneading and rubbing and throwing, all depends. And usually I do like 3 stages. In between stages, I can put my felt in microwave. If you put your felt in microwave, understand we have all these modern microwaves, like nothing explodes inside, but you never know. Put glass of water with your felt in microwave, and then I usually put for 2-3 minutes, depends on felt. When I was doing pumpkin, it's like this, yeah, I was putting this for 3 minutes. I was putting my felt in microwave for 3 minutes. If you're doing finer felt, even 1-2 minutes enough. Or old-fashioned method, just rinse in hot water. And then continue fulling. And you will see the difference, how quicker fulling will happen. And you will see that shrinkage, because fulling, it's about shrinkage. We're coming to the end of process, where our felt starting to look like felt. And what else I want to say? I think that's all, really. That's all my tips for tonight. Keep taking breaks. Make felt together with somebody else. Could be even online. And we have community of felt makers. So thank you so much for attention. And I welcome your questions. I welcome your suggestions. What else you would like me to cover? And before we go, I'll just quickly look through questions and comments. Hi Shelley, great to have you here. Yes, Norm, did you win a competition? Please share with us if you're here. Please share in the group. I'll find out. I'll go to your page and find. Louis, you're saying this is not working for me. I would love to know what is it not working. And Lina saying, I have done some wet felting. During felting, I have noticed that wool is breaking up. Felting, but breaking and get hairy hands. Okay. Lina, if your wool breaking up, do you have enough water and soap? Because that could be the case. If you getting hairy hands, what type of wool do you use? And use gloves. Wear gloves. I mean, merino wool should not give you hairy hands. Okay, if you're using Berkshaft, oh yes, oh boy, that's the most hungriest wool I've ever seen. Great wool to felt with, clicks like I'm saying fast, felt fast, but so hungry. That can give you hairy hands. It sticks everywhere. Right, Leslie, hi, thank you for your feedback. Okay, thank you so much. I will convert this video into blog and YouTube, and I hope it's been useful. And I'm looking forward your suggestions. What else shall I cover? What other tips? Because I've done quite a few Facebook lives. I'm running out of ideas. I need your help. Help, please. Have a great evening or day or morning, depends where you are. Take care. All the best. Goodbye.